How does Oz Pearlman always guess audience members' PIN codes and read your mind correctly?
Is that your code?
It is.
I've been hesitant to make this video because I would be breaking magicians' code, since this trick is one of their best kept secrets. However, I then remembered I'm not a magician.
How about that?
So now, let's get started.
Has anyone ever figured out how you did the trick, like right after you did it?
If you're on YouTube, somebody will dissect it.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
In YouTube, there's enough consolidation of people, but in a show, on stage, it's impossible.
Personally, I don't dislike Oz Pearlman at all, and I actually respect him because, unlike Lior Suchard, which I made a video on several years ago,
his powers have to be seen to be believed.
Oz doesn't claim he's some kind of supernatural superhuman.
You're not mind reading.
That's correct. But I'm telling you, literally, I'm not psychic. I have a set of procedures that I'm putting you through.
And Oz has substantially improved his trickery craft through the years, because watch how bad his performance was 7 years ago.
Joan, is it J-O-A-N?
Yes.
Kim, I assume 3 letters.
Oz the Mentalist was unsure if the name Kim is spelled with 3 letters.
Do you have a favorite color?
Yes.
For real, or you're kind of just saying it? Because you kind of did it and you
Like
touched
it
your hair at the
is?
same
He then completely misread her body language to not know that she had a favorite color, and got her favorite color completely wrong.
It's my go-to favorite color.
It's not pink, right?
It is.
Okay, so that wasn't mind reading. That was just obvious.
Oz relied on his thumb tip pen to perform his opening act.
Wearing a fake thumb.
57.
Tell her, please. You saw, right? Tell her what I wrote.
You wrote down 57.
To be able to secretly write something,
Sure.
you're laughing.
56.
Tell him what I wrote. Please tell him what I wrote down. You saw. What did I write down? Tell him what I wrote down. I wrote down
56, you wrote Ryan.
56.
63.
Tell her what I wrote. You're looking. Tell her, please, what did I write down?
63.
63.
Tell her what I wrote. You're looking. Tell her, please, what did I write down? 63.
Got a fake finger. I'm like, dude, I'm about to kill this kid.
Oz tricked so many people in the mainstream media with his little thumb tip pen, apparently until one of the second graders in his son's class called him out for using it when Oz performed during career day.
I bombed so hard at my kid's second grade class recently.
Oz even resorted to using a remote control bell you can get from any magic shop, which he used to cue the participant of when to ring the bell.
But when you start ringing or you feel the bell ringing, like when I just rang it, did you feel me do that?
Yep.
Amplify the ring. So when I hit it, ring more. There, just like that. That's good. Let's do one more time just so you can. Yeah, he's got the technique down.
To make it appear to this audience in this act that they felt touched through the other person.
Poked you in the back. Is that right?
I don't think so.
Did you feel him touching you?
I felt like the bell, like somebody ringing the bell.
Ring.
Now watch this part and notice that you clearly hear the bell ring before the participant ever begins to move the bell. Yes, that whole act was a blatant dual-layer manipulation of simply telling one person one thing and the rest another. He told the guy holding the bell to begin ringing it when the bell started to ring,
Amplify the ring.
and made everyone else think that the guy was ringing it when he felt he was touched. But in reality, the guy was just ringing the bell whenever the bell started to ring because that's what he was instructed to do. Oz was constantly getting his mind-reading predictions wrong.
Do you speak Spanish? No. R. You rolled your tongue. R. Is it an R?
No.
Okay. Is there an R in the name? What about June? Is she born in June? No. Okay. Is it an A?
No.
They're in 2 different fields. Am I right?
No.
There's only one person you'd love to have dinner with. Just the first.
Like Lemley.
Which was topped off with possibly the funniest mentalist fail reaction in history.
Tell her, who is this couple that's meant to be? Tell her, please.
Reese Witherspoon and Hugh Jackman.
Show it. Turn around.
Which resulted in one very disappointed audience member at the end of his show.
Oh, I thought you were supposed to know.
Oz had made some other major slip-ups in the more recent past, which will allow us to see the inner workings of his mentalist tricks to understand how more complex tricks, like the pin code trick, is done. Now watch this clip and see if you notice the slip-up.
Watch that, G. Check my hand. Check my hand. John Cena, is there anything there?
What a joker.
Right, Oz made sure that his audience of 3 right in front of him didn't see that he wrote the name Vince in red marker on his forearm in the dressing room, but forgot to hide it to the millions watching at home.
John Cena, think of someone you are going to talk to this week. Grip me. Grab my arm. Grab me hard right there. Squeeze. Squeeze tight.
Vince.
Vince.
Yes.
Open your hand up.
No.
Oh my God.
Right, Oz knew that John Cena would logically say Vince to answer that exact question he was planning on posing to Cena. However, he just needed to influence him to make sure that he said it through psychological suggestion and linguistic priming before they went on air. Oz always makes it seem to the audience and the participant, like Cena here, could have chosen to say any name in the entire world. However, practically, that's not true, but it's only 2 or 3 names he would choose instantaneously on the spot and is also willing to say publicly. So Oz just needs to subconsciously influence Cena just enough that he chooses to say Vince when he's asked on the spot. Did you notice how Oz cleverly got Cena to not see what was written on his forearm as he had Cena grab him?
Grip me, grab my arm, grab me hard right there, squeeze, squeeze.
Did you catch how he did that and any other tactics Oz used to make sure that Cena didn't see the name Vince written on his forearm until the exact moment?
I want you to hold out your hand. A little bigger than mine.
Write what you noticed in the comments below.
Who is that celebrity you have in mind? Who's running Shock Us?
George Clooney.
George Clooney.
Here Al Roker said the wrong name at first, but Oz saved himself by redirecting Al to choose a female star instead.
Anybody else? Any women?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Which shows us how he steers participants back on track when things go wrong. Mentalists are able to do this because you don't know the act, and part of their skill is to convince you that everything that unfolded was all part of the act.
So in my show, I'm the director. I only show you the stuff I want you to see.
For example, if Al Roker never said Taylor Swift, would Oz have been completely embarrassed on national television with his Taylor Swift t-shirt?
Taylor Swift?
No, he wouldn't. He would never reveal that t-shirt at that moment at least, and may instead reveal that t-shirt for something else later on in the show. Additionally, if Oz knew that Al Roker could have said George Clooney, he may have had George Clooney written on his socks. Mentalists will only reveal to you what they get right and also move quickly past their mistakes so your brain forgets it ever happened.
Psychics are very good at engineering memories the way I am.
Right.
They erase the misses, they highlight the hits.
Yeah.
Now listen to what Joe from CNBC accidentally reveals, and listen to how Oz tries to cover it up.
You picked a random company.
Yes, I did.
You just picked a random company.
Off the
Do you know?
Yes, Joe said, off the cards.
Do you know?
And then Oz tries to verbally cover it up by speaking over him. Did you catch that?
Picked a random company.
Off the
Do
cards.
you know?
But you're probably thinking, wait, what cards? Yes, it appears that before they went on camera, Joe here was given select names of companies and their CEOs to choose from that were presumably written on index cards. Therefore, it appears Oz did the classic magician's force a card trick on him to make sure that he chose the one that Oz prepared for here.
Meta, Zuckerberg, is that right?
No. Mark Klaus, Campbell's Soup.
Campbell's Soup? Holy!
This is not fair.
What if he had picked, give us a phrase there, what if he had picked, say it.
No, CEO of like the Lego company.
That's part of the illusion that there is free will in all this, where if Oz guessed incorrectly, he would have been made a fool.
Lego?
I was thinking of a company I don't know the CEO of.
Then Joe, I think we're ready to go. I think I'm ready if he would have picked Lego.
However, that's not how this trick works. Before the show, the Campbell's Soup index card was forced on Joe without Joe knowing that a card was forced on him.
I thought I ruined things when it wasn't Zuckerberg. Do you need to clean yourself up?
Andrew's
No, I don't
all
understand how this is even possible.
Additionally, before the show, Andrew there was likely seated with the idea of Legos.
I just said Lego.
Lego?
I was thinking of a company I don't know the CEO of.
Perhaps by Oz even just sparking a casual conversation with Andrew about maybe how his son just loves Legos. And if Andrew didn't say the word Legos at that moment, Oz would simply wait for another moment to reveal that there were Legos in the soup can. Or if Oz thought that Andrew could say another company name, he may have had another company name printed on his undershirt, socks, or maybe behind the soup can label.
I always plan for everything that can go wrong. Do you plan another thing in the event? Got it. Say fail safe, fail safe. Big time.
See, mentalists build multiple escape routes into their act, which ensures that no matter what happens, he comes out looking as if he read your mind or predicted the future. Which is probably why Jake Paul legitimately believes Oz is secretly a time traveler.
Because also I believe that there's like time travelers and shit like that.
90. You
And
really
I feel
believe
like
that?
Yeah, 100%. You're first on my
I'm
list,
first on the
brother.
list?
I have a list now.
I think he's evil.
That is sorcery.
Out of the whole grocery store, you're walking up and down the aisles, you pick anything. What did you pick up and buy? Tell us.
M&M's.
What did you buy?
M&M's.
Open your eyes. What happens when it goes wrong?
As you can see here, Oz subconsciously influences everyone to choose M&Ms with this grand finale act. It's not free will.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Think of the first number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
Now notice how Oz curiously always has to rely on keystrokes to get his audience members' mobile phone passcode.
Do you go to the left? You got it. Do you go to the right?
I don't know.
You do know.
Think of the first number. What you feel is the muscle flexes. Try not to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0.
But why does Oz rely on keystrokes and subconscious finger movements of the participant to get a phone's passcode? Why can't he just look at the participant and quickly work through guessing their passcode like he does with PIN codes?
Think of the first number in this code. Imagine, look at me. 8. Is it an 8?
It is.
Yes, something about a phone's passcode is curiously very different than getting an audience member's PIN code. But what? They're both usually 4-digit numbers, and a number is a number, so just guess the number, right? But why do you think a mentalist predicting a phone's passcode is very different than predicting a PIN code? I think you're starting to catch on, but let's see if you're right when I reveal why at the end. I may get into so much trouble here revealing this stuff, so hit that like button now because there's going to be a whole community that's going to try to ratio down this video so no one sees it. A big part of mentalism is that many people don't understand the length someone will go through just to trick them.
You said sometimes you take a long time to develop the trick. Did you watch a lot of flagrant footage to get prepared for any of the tricks you did today?
Yes. So you're doing your research.
I give Oz credit for being honest there on that casual podcast. However, a big part of the mentalist act is making it appear to you that they just stumbled off the street and magically knew everything about you. But do you really think they don't do any homework? Right, there's a lot of public information out there, especially on media personalities, where there's more online on them than they could possibly ever remember that's out there. Sometimes when I casually meet another influencer for the first time, I enjoy messing with them, playing mentalist to also meet their expectations of who they perceive me to be. And you will be shocked by how much is out there online about these media personalities that a professional mentalist can dive into using those thousands of hours of footage of them speaking on hundreds of different topics.
Men will lie bigger, women smaller. Men like to lie by saying things are bigger, right? No shocker.
The Rogan has been in the back of my head for several years because I have been assessing Joe, and I also listened to that podcast for a really long time. What would I do with Joe if I got in that room?
Also, when I correctly read their mind with a combination of information I've gathered and some body language, they often reply with, "How could you have possibly known that? I never told anyone that." Meanwhile, I'm thinking, wow, you really don't remember posting that Instagram caption 7 years ago. It's impossible for media personalities to instantly know all of the things they've ever said in every media post and appearance in their entire life, thereby leaving a perfect opportunity for mentalists to look psychic, even when all they've done is studied their digital footprint.
Throw everything away. Throw everything away. Here's what I want you to do. No, I want nothing in your hands. Get rid of everything. No, I need your hands empty. Throw it away. I want you right now. No, you need your hands empty. You're going to be writing something down.
Right.
Get rid of what is this? Notes?
It's just my... No,
I don't want notes.
Okay.
I want
It's the bump, but okay.
I need my notes. I need my notes.
Oz, interestingly, doesn't want his audience to have any access to pieces of paper or writing implements when he's doing his tricks. But why? Right, the words on the paper will likely influence the participant away from the direction Oz needs them to go.
Raging Cajuns, were you thinking of Louisiana?
I was not.
However, here, one of the ESPN hosts says the wrong college football team and required redirection from Oz.
Did you think of Louisiana first?
I did.
You did! See, he's changing his mind on me. Hold up.
No.
But that's who you thought of. You changed.
Wait a second.
While Oz also gives a little defensive, disparaging remark to make it seem to the TV audience that he was not playing fair. But did you notice anything odd about this host, which is different than the other hosts on stage? Right, he's holding a piece of paper, and if we rewind the footage further, we notice that he's occasionally reading from it.
He's a demon, dude.
Wow.
He's a demon.
That psychologically causes a break in Oz's influence, because reading anchors your attention to fixed words instead of solely on on Oz's subtle suggestions.
Dude, that was nice. That was nice.
And after that, Oz completely ignores that host for the remainder of his act.
What happened to San Jose State? I don't know. It happened. I was thinking Louisiana, and you told me I could change my mind.
Oz looks more like a mentalist when the participants are fully immersed in his influence, focused on him and not distracted by anything that grounds them in reality.
Literally, what I do is create memories. The way you remember this and the way you're going to tell it has been engineered. And certain things get erased and certain things get highlighted. And there's a way you can do that.
Also with paper in hand, Oz's biggest fear is that one of his participants is going to write down what they're thinking ahead of time. But why do you think that's so detrimental to his trick? Yes, because when someone writes down what they're initially thinking, it locks that initial thought into place that Oz cannot manipulate with his verbal influence. Writing fixes an idea in place, stripping away the flexibility and suggestibility that working memory naturally has.
You said, I like putting words in people's heads.
Yep.
How do you do that?
How you're going to think is shockingly under my control. The moment I lose control is the moment the trick falls apart.
The question is, how did I put that thought in his head? That's the kicker.
You thought of a beverage, didn't you? Am I right?
Yes.
Because I put beverage in all your minds. You didn't realize it.
He can bend perception and memory through suggestion, but he can't change what's written in normal ink, at least. Oz's entire act is based on shaping the audience's perception while they are in the room or on stage with him. His show is not based on facts. Are you starting to catch on to how the pin code trick is done? I think you're ready now to help me break down how Oz guesses pin codes.
Hello, Bills! I love it.
Oz Pearlman was invited to entertain the Buffalo Bills NFL football team with some mentalist trickery. He does a few mentalist tricks, but for his grand finale trick,
Josh, I tell you to look at this room.
I saw the Josh Allen.
Yeah, the Josh Allen was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Thank you.
he allegedly predicts who quarterback Josh Allen throws the ball to twice.
Toss it.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox? Because that's exactly who I thought it was going to first. Close your eyes. Say it as you throw him the ball. Open your eyes. Say it as you throw it to him.
Gregory Rousseau.
And on the third throw, claims he knew he was going to throw it to that player because that player's 4-digit pin code is the jersey number of the two guys Josh Allen threw the football to previously.
Buffalo Bills? I'm not even writing it down the third time. I already know in my head. I knew he would do that. Think of the first number in this code. Imagine, look at me. 8. Is it an 8?
It is.
8, 5, oh, is that your code?
It is.
What's your jersey number? 88. What's your jersey number? 50.
So how do you think he did this trick? It may seem impossible, however, it's just a trick. Based on Oz's pre-show homework, he knew that Dawson Knox was not just a tight end receiver.
Allen with pressure in his face.
It's Dawson Knox! Fires down to the goal line. Dawson Knox!
But also one of Josh Allen's closest friends on the team.
He's like a brother. He's like a best friend.
So when Josh was suddenly asked to stand up in front of the team and throw the ball to someone, it was only natural that he'd feel most comfortable throwing it to Knox.
Dawson.
Toss it.
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox? Because that's exactly who I thought it was going to first.
After all, he wouldn't want to overlook his best friend and trusted receiver in that unexpected moment.
Whew.
And did you notice that eek uncertainty expression on Oz's face? Do you think that was legitimate uncertainty or a calculated psychological move to manipulate? Watch that part again.
Whew.
Right, it was calculated, but why did he do that? Yes, it was to strategically make Josh Allen feel like Oz had absolutely no idea where he would throw the ball.
Whew.
Which gave Josh an extra layer of comfort to throw the ball to the obvious player.
That's exactly who I thought it was going to first.
Oz predicted it correctly.
Was that luck? You do it a second time, it's skill. Get that ball back.
Now Oz needs Josh to throw to his choice. But how do you think Oz can get Josh to do that? Watch and see if you catch it.
Close your eyes. I already saw it. I already saw him read the room. Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Josh, say it as you throw him the ball. Open your eyes, say it as you throw it to him.
Gregory Rousseau.
Did you notice how Oz sets up his prediction very differently than the first one? Oz is using a deliberate manipulation tactic here.
Close your eyes.
In his first throw, Oz never told Josh to close his eyes, but this time he does. for a reason. Oz needs Josh to throw to a specific player of his choosing, and having Josh close his eyes gives him time to show the entire team the name of that player he wrote on his poster board.
Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it.
By doing this, Oz primes over 50 people in that room to subconsciously direct their focus and energy towards his chosen target.
Close your eyes. I already saw it. I already saw him read the room.
When Oz confidently says, "I already saw it," why do you think he said that? Yes, Oz said that to make it appear that he just read Josh's mind and was about to predict the future.
Close your eyes. I already saw it. I already saw him read the room.
When in reality, he's just influencing Josh of where to throw the ball when he suddenly opens his eyes.
Josh, say it as you throw him the ball.
So when Oz suddenly tells Josh to open his eyes and throw the football,
open your eyes, say it as you throw it to him.
Gregory Rousseau.
Josh subconsciously simply follows the group's subtle cues, their body orientation, gaze, and shared attention.
Say it as you throw it to him.
Gregory Rousseau.
All subconsciously pointing to the player Oz had selected. In psychology, this is known as social gravity and social priming, where the collective focus of a group unconsciously steers an individual's behavior. When dozens of people simultaneously direct their gaze and mental energy towards one person, it creates a powerful nonverbal signal that shapes decision-making without a single word being spoken.
2 for 2.
Our brains are wired to pick up on these cues, especially in uncertain high-pressure moments that Oz had created by having Josh Allen close his eyes and then suddenly telling him to throw the ball and throw it immediately.
Say it as you throw him the ball.
So even though Josh believed he freely chose where to throw the ball, the combined psychological weight of collective attention, social priming, and conformity pressure was being disguised as free will.
Buffalo Bills, I'm not even writing it down the third time. I already know in my head.
Connor McGovern.
Throw it to him.
Do you really believe that Oz knew who Josh was going to throw the ball to there?
I knew he would do that.
Oz actually had no idea and frankly didn't care if he even threw the football to the water boy. But if you're thinking Oz must have known Josh was going to throw the ball to Connor McGovern because Connor's 4-digit PIN code matched the combined jersey numbers of the 2 previous players who were just thrown the ball.
Say it! 88! Greg Russo, stand up! What's your jersey number? 50.
But that's not how this trick works. Now, let's break it down.
You need proof. Connor, stand up, please.
First, Oz makes Connor stand up to amplify the tension, putting him at the center of attention, increasing social pressure and suggestibility. Psychologically, this works because being physically elevated above everyone and watched by others heightens self-awareness and activates our brain's social evaluation circuitry, which suppresses analytical thinking and increases compliance with authority cues. Suddenly standing before Oz's confident high-energy performance, Connor's mind instinctively prioritizes emotional alignment over analytical thinking. In psychology, this ties to the brain's dual process system, where system 1 is fast and emotional, while system 2 is slow and analytical. Under the sudden pressure that he creates, Oz triggers system 1 through excitement and surprise, suppressing logical thought, making Connor more suggestible and less able to critically analyze numbers.
Question for you, a married man, I see a ring.
I am, yes.
Everything Oz says and does here is highly orchestrated and very intentional to manipulate Connor.
Would your wife know your ATM PIN code?
No.
Do you know why he asked that question?
Would your wife know your ATM PIN code?
No.
First, the obvious one. To make it seem like no one else in the world could possibly know the code Oz is about to reveal, making the trick appear more grand.
Would your wife know your ATM PIN code?
No. Smart man.
Now, the less obvious and more important reason is to spark laughter and elicit an emotional reaction from the audience. But why would that be important? It creates an intentional break in frame and disrupting Connor's focus from Oz guessing his ATM PIN code before the laughter to now Connor agreeing to Oz's code after the laughter. Have you ever had a good laugh and forgot what was being said before what caused you to laugh?
Smart man.
This is because laughter acts as a cognitive reset, suddenly flooding the brain with dopamine and endorphins, interrupting your working memory and logical train of thought. So when Connor was caught in that moment of laughter, he suddenly became more suggestible, ready to follow Oz's verbal cues to agree to the numbers Oz was about to confidently shout at him.
Is there any way anybody in the world could know this code? You tell your folks, nobody, right?
He says that to manipulate Connor into believing that Oz doesn't know the code that is going to result. Therefore, it makes the code that Oz is about to confidently and suddenly shout at Connor feel even more like Connor's code, and not Oz's code, because Oz just said no one in the world knows it. So how could it be Oz's code? And yes, Oz is now describing the code as this code, not your code.
Could know this code.
We're gonna break that down further coming up.
Nobody, right? Zero.
No.
Zero.
Oz says zero twice, loud, forcefully, and repetitively right before he's about to get Connor to agree to his code. Do you know why? He does that to clear any number that Connor may still have in his mind, reset his working memory by literally zeroing it out like on a calculator, and conditioning him to follow Oz's cadence and call response pattern with numbers.
Could know this code. Think of the first number in this code.
Right, by subtly changing his language from your code to this code. Right after that moment of laughter, subconsciously redirects Connor's focus from Oz guessing Connor's ATM pin code to now Connor agreeing with Oz on a code, not realizing in that moment what was happening, that Oz was supposed to be the one who was uncovering Connor's ATM pin code. Connor wasn't supposed to be getting Oz's code. Quite simply, Oz confused Connor between the difference of having his code guessed and agreeing with Oz's code, blurring the roles so completely that Connor believed he was confirming his own code, when in actuality he was validating Oz's code. This psychologically happens because our brain automatically follows the most confident communicator in a new, fast, intense, and uncertain moment.
It's verbal misdirection. Again, we create memories right when they're supposed to do something. You shift their mind, and your mind can only focus on one thing in a certain way at the same time.
When Oz controls the timing, tone, laughter, and frame, it overwhelmed Connor's working memory, causing him to subconsciously adopt Oz's version of reality, flipping who's leading and who's guessing what without him even realizing it.
Imagine, look at me. 8. Is it 8?
It is.
Oz intentionally says, imagine right there. But why?
Imagine, look at me, 8.
The word imagine is very manipulative because it bypasses critical thinking and shifts your brain into a more emotional, suggestible state, making Connor right here visualize the numbers Oz is putting in his mind rather than analyzing what they are. Oz using this simple word makes Connor feel like the thought is his own, which further increases Connor's compliance and agreement without him realizing he's being completely led.
Look this way. Think of the first number in this code. Imagine, look at me.
Did you notice Oz keeps telling Connor to look at him? Do you know why?
Look this way. Imagine, look at me.
Yes, this is to take control of his attention and disrupt his internal thought process. Direct eye contact, especially in that type of moment, heightened suggestibility and social compliance. It kept Connor focused on Oz's cues rather than his own reasoning, making Connor more likely to follow Oz's lead and subconsciously agree to the numbers in Oz's code, while also making it appear to the audience as if Oz was reading Connor's mind.
I got 8. It's out of it. 8, 8. Oh my God. It's another 8, 8, 8, 5. Oh!
After Connor agrees to the first number, notice Oz doesn't give Connor a chance to verbally validate each number individually. That's intentional. Do you know why he did that?
8, 5, oh!
Yes, because keeping the pace rapid prevents Connor's analytical thinking from catching up, forcing him to stay in a reactive, suggestible state where agreement becomes automatic. Oz doesn't want to give Connor the opportunity to start thinking, hold on, is this really my code or just the one Oz is feeding me?
It's another 8, 8!
And it's only after Oz got Connor to smile and nod in agreement to the 4 digits and reveal the full code was Oz safe to ask,
is that your code?
It is.
Dawson, what's your jersey number? 88. Greg Russo, stand up. 50.
As the climactic moment of his show. If you notice, when mentalists perform this trick, they never warn the audience in advance. But why? Yes, because that would give the audience time to write down their 4-digit code or even mentally lock in the exact pin they're thinking of, both of which makes it much harder for mentalists to manipulate your thinking through suggestion.
Your memories are malleable. What I really do for a living is I create memories.
Mentalists perform this trick by springing it on the participant unexpectedly. Notice how Oz suddenly springs his pin code trick on Joe Rogan.
I think the first number of your code's a 1, isn't it? Your real pin code.
Why would I tell you that on the air?
There was no mention of a pin code before that moment to him.
Although Oz did that trick a little bit differently than this one with the Buffalo Bills. With these pin code tricks, Oz must keep everything verbal, sudden, and in the moment, relying on quick suggestion and psychological pressure, while avoiding verifiable written proof. This allows the mentalist to exploit the fluid nature of our working memory, influencing, reshaping, and confirming subtle thoughts before the participant even realizes what's happening. Also, there's one last social psychological aspect that's very important to mention here. Which person in their right mind will ever correct the mentalist with a room full of people and millions watching online saying, "Are you trying to guess my PIN code to my personal Wells Fargo checking account ending in 3291? What you guessed is not my correct PIN code. My actual PIN code to that checking account is 4637. Look, mentalist, I even wrote it down before this event. Do you see the psychological bind Oz creates here? No one is going to publicly reveal their real PIN code to a specific bank account to possibly millions of people just to correct the mentalist, which nearly guarantees the illusion will never be challenged and the mentalist appears infallible. Out of all the times I've seen this trick done, never once have I seen a participant correct the mentalist. And as we discussed, there's many psychological and practical reasons for that. Not all of Oz's tricks are done the same way, but he often forces answers and actions onto his audience without them realizing it, making it appear as if he's reading their mind. Many times the real diversion in his act is the idea he gives you that he's reading your body language to guess correctly.
Oz says he studies body language to read what's going on in someone's mind.
Person, you keep trying to look at him. They host a podcast together. Charlemagne the God, is that who the person wrote the book?
Where instead he's relying on his pre-show homework, while also steering your thoughts through subtle linguistic cues, timing, and psychological suggestion. But why do you think he just doesn't tell you that? Because that's quite impressive in itself. First, it's because if you know what he's doing, you're less likely to be psychologically manipulated into giving him the answers he needs to pull off his show. Second, it may make you feel a little icky because it causes you to reflect on how our sense of free will might not be as free as we think. Third, he wants to maintain the mystique of how he does it. Is he a time traveler, a mind reader, or just really good at reading body language?
Did you hack my phone?
I've hacked your brain.
But in reality, he's often guiding your thoughts before you ever realize you've made a choice. As promised, do you know why Oz can't guess your phone's passcode the way he guesses PIN codes?
Boom, and we are in your phone.
When I hacked into your...
Yes, phone passcodes can be easily proven incorrect because it's a binary situation where the predicted passcode is able to either unlock the phone or not.
He went a 3, another 2, didn't he?
Yeah! The moment when I just hacked into his phone.
Electronics aren't susceptible to Oz's psychological manipulation and suggestion. Therefore, he needs to actually get the true passcode, because if he doesn't, he will be found out immediately. Wouldn't that trick with the Buffalo Bills be so much more impressive if instead of an obscure PIN code that only one person can validate through their working memory that Oz has psychologically influenced, it was their phone's passcode, and Oz would be proven correct with their phone unlocking? Right, that would be much more impressive, but also much more difficult because phones don't fall for social pressure, suggestion, or cognitive bias as people do. With all that said, Oz Pearlman has become highly skilled in the art of suggestion and misdirection, which requires years of dedication, practice, emotional control, precise timing, and significant psychological insight. I actually give him a lot of credit for mastering those very difficult skills, and he's certainly come a long way from using his thumb pen and this hilarious moment that will live on in mentalism history forever.
Show it, turn around.
Damn! Now in the comments, what would you do now if you were a participant in one of Oz's tricks? Would you try to spoil the trick? Would you go along with it but not say anything? Do you think Oz would still be able to trick you? Let everyone know in the comments below. Subscribe for more. And if you want exclusive content and channel perks, you can hit that join button now below, because your support makes all of this possible. I think in another life I would be a mentalist. Do you think I would be a good mentalist? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.